I want you to listen closely to what the U.S. government and what the Supreme Court considers as a monopoly.
The Supreme Court defines monopoly power as, quote, the power to control prices or exclude competition. As set out in our complaint, Apple has that power in the smartphone market. Now, having monopoly does not itself violate the antitrust laws, but it does when a firm acquires or maintains monopoly power, not because it has a superior product or superior business acumen, but by engaging in exclusionary conduct.
But before we get into the video, I would really appreciate it if you guys would like, comment, and subscribe. And also, if you enjoy this video, watch another video. It tells the algorithm you want other people to watch the video. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's get into it.
But that happens to be the truth. The Lisa was a failure. The Macintosh was a failure. I don't like talking like this, but I am tired of being Ringo when I know I was John.
Everybody loves Ringo.
And I'm tired of being patronized by you.
You think John became John by winning a raffle, Woz? You think he tricked somebody or hit George Harrison over the head? He was John because he was John.
He was John because he wrote Ticket to Ride. And I wrote the Apple II.
It was very often a push and pull struggle when it came to Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak when it came to the product of Apple and being an open or closed platform. In Steve Wozniak's eyes, being an open platform made it to where it made it more consumer friendly to let the consumer basically do whatever it wanted with its product and use any other peripheral with it as well. With Steve Jobs, that was a horrible idea because it didn't incentivize for people to be in the ecosystem and for them to buy peripherals that were for Apple and Apple ecosystem only. And as you can see, Steve Jobs won that entire philosophy on how they wanted to take Apple and in the direction they wanted to take it in. Now, if you want the full experience of an Apple device, needs to be an Apple product in order for the software that's on it to fully utilize the latency of Apple Watch, the Apple Pods, anything that is an Apple product. Essentially, if you want to use your phone and get text messages on your laptop, it has to be an Apple product. And it has worked well for them. It has made them the biggest company in the United States. And it's worked so well for them that the US government is now stepping in to do an antitrust lawsuit against Apple. And it's funny because I see a lot of people complaining about how this is something that shouldn't be done and kind of a confusion in how this is good for them. I honestly don't think people understand how Apple, and being the market leader that it is in not only smartphones but the biggest company in the United States when it comes to electronics, how that reverberates in the entire electronic ecosystem in general, and particularly in video games as well.
Yo, man, we ain't the Cosbys.
Let's go. I got this.
Go.
Everybody wants to be like Mike.
Yeah, and you're gonna be retired like him, too.
I'd have dunked it on your ass.
It's no secret that everybody kind of deep down inside wants to be something like Apple because they are the biggest company in the world. And they've made a lot of money. So much so that when you look at video games and electronics as a whole, you will see some sort of adaptation to try to be somewhat like Apple. Nintendo does it by having this sleek OS that feels very much nostalgic, but at the same time as a premium product, when in reality it's needed an update for the longest time. PlayStation does it with its sleek white design that very much resembles what Apple has been trying to look like and doing for the past 15 years. And it also does it with the many peripherals that it has that is on PlayStation and works best on PlayStation. And on top of that, offers premium AAA games that can't be done on other platforms, or, according to Sony, can't be done on other platforms. Xbox does it by wielding its money and buying out competition in order to build its AAA platform and offer games that it couldn't build itself. If you look into Apple's history, these are all things that Apple has done with almost every single one of its products. The sleek OS that feels nostalgic and feels kind of warm and nice, but kind of really never was up to par to everything else until recently, is Apple. The sleek design, the white, nice peripherals that work best on a particular product is also Apple. And if it can't innovate or invent something that's better than its competitor, it usually buys out that competitor, or just in general just kind of rips off the entire thing, kind of like they did with the Apple Watch when it came to its keyboard. The anti-consumer things that Apple has been doing does reverberate within the electronics in general. This is just one way the way it affects it in console gaming. What Apple does sets the standard for everybody else to follow. Do you remember the clip that we talked about in the beginning when it came to monopolies and antitrust laws?
My dear Prince.
Don't push it.
You see, Vegeta, this is only my second form. I am merely semi-perfect.
Wait, how can you be semi-perfect? You're either perfect or you're not me.
The unfortunate thing is that PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo's are monopolies, but are imperfect monopolies. But they do have monopolistic practices. PlayStation, being the market leader in high-end consoles, raised the prices of video games to $70 and everybody else followed suit. Xbox also did this with its Xbox Live and charging people to play online, and everybody else followed suit. And now PlayStation and Nintendo also have their own version of Xbox Live with PlayStation Plus and Nintendo online services. The mere fact that PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox are now playing nice to have cross-play gaming is making the US government's point on how this lawsuit is good for consumers. The mere fact that controllers can't work from different platforms on different devices is kind of insane. And the fact that I can't take my digital purchase on PlayStation and have not only the game on PC but have its progress on PC is also very much anti-consumer. And while people will say, well, you bought it on PlayStation, so you should only play it on PlayStation. Yeah, exactly the point. Closed ecosystems has only really become a thing because of Apple, and it is now showing that it is very anti-consumer because it makes it to where they can make software deliberately to screw over consumers and make it to where they have to buy products that are only on that ecosystem that don't support other ecosystems and other peripherals. But I find it completely weird that people are kind of against this, and it's mostly Apple consumers that are complaining about this when this is a good thing for them. But this is what Apple has cultivated over the past 15 years, is making a closed ecosystem, but not only that, but making it seem like it's good for them. This is how good Apple's marketing has been to pretty much brainwash consumers. And it's no different to what console makers and gaming in general has been trying to do itself, and slowly trying to make closed ecosystem. Because keep in mind, these companies do not care about the fact that we make them one of the biggest companies in the world like the way Apple is. It cares about the money that it takes from you. Thank you for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think this is a good thing or a bad thing? And also remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and watch another video if you enjoyed this video. And remember, you are pretty good.